The coach sighed and caught you today. It's mainly related to what happened to Ellie. Then he took out a row of torture instruments. What's your answer now? It will determine the tools you use. I instantly scolded in cold sweat. It doesn't matter which one you use, it's not good. The coach put his foot on the chair in front of me. So the first question is, what do you think of Ellie? Then a knife was pointed at the rich woman in front of me. Seems to have an unspeakable and complex past. But I'm not interested. The knife in the coach's hand. You swipe it and it hits my chair. I was so scared that my scalp burst. But then the coach throws the knife away. Qualified answer. But even if you're not interested, you're going to finish it now. Now that it has been involved, then let me tell you the whole story. Then decide whether to make a sound or not. And then he took me out onto the balcony. First asked me if I want to eat chocolate. I asked him suspiciously, is it the one in your mouth? The coach turned his head coldly. Ellie's trouble. Mainly because of the trouble of being the eldest lady of the family. When he was very young, got engaged to another child. And you must have heard of that person. The talented producer who developed the game Nova. The final championship trophy is awarded every year at the World Championships. He's doing it all. You could say, he himself is the official of the Nova game. If you agreed to let Ali pretend to be his boyfriend, the situation will be very bad for you. You are supposed to replace Jupiter. Come and work hard with the goal of professional players. If you get his attention, probably not even a professional player. I quickly waved my hand. He expressed that he had never thought of agreeing to this. But suddenly, the coach took out a pair of handcuffs, then asked the two of us to lean together. That's up to you. This is also your sister's expectation. She wants you to help Ellie. I heard what my sister meant, so I just nodded, said it would be considered. The coach saw that my attitude was cold, so he came up to my forehead. So again, Eli, we are now in opposition to this. I pretended to be calm and pushed the coach away. It means that it makes you uncomfortable to stick too close. The coach thinks he is not attractive enough. Obviously, it's easy to be shy when you play Jupiter. Come home after reaching a consensus. As soon as I opened the door, I saw an unforgettable shadow. What are these two women doing? I must have opened the door the wrong way. After I recited the Buddhist scriptures in my heart several times, blushing, ready to reopen. He is a boy dressed as a woman. With two big European girls. He went to the grocery store, bought a drink, came home. Just opened the door. I saw two big sisters collide at the World Cup. Powerful visual impact is approaching the sky. Make him feel like he opened it the wrong way. He immediately closed the door. After a 2.5-second bath in my heart, he let out a long sigh. Then he raised his trembling hand and slowly opened the door. Sure enough, it was the wrong way to open it. Relative to the previous picture, everything is fine now. Ellie was the first to ask the boy, "Have you bought the iced black tea you want?" The boy immediately handed over the drink in the bag. The white-haired sister on the side also walked forward excitedly, pick up the drink, grunting blood. The boy asked how the two were doing. Ellie put it mildly, since you have defeated yourself head-on in the world. Sishiha as a professional player. I'm definitely not an opponent. The white cat sister on the side was puzzled. Wasn't it defeated head-on? Or crush hunting? hear this. Ellie went up, blushed. Then the white-hat sister placed her hand on the boy's shoulder. The combat technique just now won. Sure enough, the most suitable person is me. Now the right to teach white clothes. The attribution is already clear. Suddenly, the boy pushed the white cat sister away. I have something to ask Ellie before I decide. Something about you not being good with boys. Can you tell me in detail? I want to know who I am now in men's clothing. Does touching it make you feel embarrassed? If this cannot be restrained, I'm afraid I can't be a man. With Ray, learn to play games. Ellie's face turned even redder. But to prove that I am not a weak chicken, she still mustered up the courage to grab the boy's hand. Seeing Ellie, there was no unusual resistance. They're also genuinely happy for her. Suddenly, the boy awakens the old sex badge attribute. Pull Ellie into his arms. Suddenly, the two eldest sisters were shocked. I have absolutely no idea what kind of playing this guy is doing. The boy asked Ellie lightly, will she back down like this? I didn't expect Ellie to stick her head directly on the boy's chest. Then said shyly, this kind of contact will not feel scary. The picture of Coach Heisey came to the boy's mind. It turns out that Coach Heisey introduced Ellie is not good at dealing with boys to an exaggerated extent. It's almost androphobia, to put it bluntly. Just physical contact can make him feel pain. If you want to help Ellie, we need to know if Ellie can touch it. Wearing men's clothing, so we need a little extra stimulus. Therefore, Coach Heiss advises the boy to try hugging Ellie. Look at his reaction. Seeing that now Ellie has no resistance, the boy breathed a sigh of relief. Ellie asked the boy with a shy face, do you want to learn to play games with yourself? The boy scratched his head. It means that there can be a professional player like Ellie as a teacher? I must be looking forward to it. But he didn't notice at all the demonized white cat sister in the back. Oh, is that so? This is going to mess with me and give up. After the boy donned women's clothes, picked up two big European beautiful girls on the road. The beautiful girl is actually a professional player in the game competition. In order to compete for the sole ownership of the boys' game Mentor, the two choose to win or lose in the game. Finally, after some friendly negotiation, the two decided to shelve the dispute. Joint development. The boy's pupils dilated instantly. Two big sisters, please let it go. This night, the boy and Ellie went for a walk. The boy recalled that he was not very familiar with it at that time, so he reported the case. After playing the game together, but there was no imagined embarrassment. Sure enough, it's the same as what my sister said. I want to get to know people. I don't know. Playing video games is the fastest way. Sudden birth. So much so that the boy walked alone in front. An angry Ellie chased after her. I said, White, are you even listening to me? Why are you still distracted when you're with me? The boy quickly apologized with both hands. Explain that you are just thinking about your sister. When I heard that the boy was in love with his sister, I was stunned. You're not even curious? Why am I on good terms with your sister? The boy shook his head confidently. This world, there's no one who doesn't want to have a good relationship with his sister. It's just that you see my sister live. Immerse yourself in it. Fan tip. Exchange contact information, and we became friends. Ellie seems to have been told. Guilty say, How could my relationship with Mushin be so simple? Our relationship, it's deeper than you can imagine. While resting on the bench, the boy said that he was kidnapped by his beloved aunt. Auntie said you want to break the engagement. Need me to pretend to be your boyfriend. Is that why you made a deal with my sister? And Eli asks the boy, do you know why you can't handle boys? The boy said he didn't know. Ellie clenched her hands involuntarily. After some psychological struggles, I know you still have a lot of questions for me. Obviously, Mushin's friend. But I don't recognize your dress. Those bald heads chasing me. It also seems to be cooperating with my acting. You must feel. Is there any intention for me to approach you? Trust me. One day I will let you know all about me. Before that, you just need to know. So Ellie took advantage of the boy's lack of attention, pulled him into his arms. Then he pecked it directly. I need you. Not if it's not you. The boy who was forcibly imported and brushed looked confused. But suddenly it flashed through my mind. I seem to have met Ellie before, but I can't remember when this happened. However, what they failed to notice was, that was the scene. All were seen by the white-haired sister behind. Suddenly, Sister Whitehair was stunned. The clenched fist in his hand trembled slightly. I saw my cabbage being eaten by other pigs. What was it? The white-haired girl was so angry that she went through menopause on the spot. How long have you known each other? Do it in the park. When the white-haired girl was a child, I was forced by my mother to practice over this game. If you don't play well, you will be scolded from time to time. Causes white-haired girls to grow up with a withdrawn personality, never cooperate with teammates in team games. Therefore, the coach was very dissatisfied. But its own operating ability is strong. The team finally hid the white-haired girl in the bench. Then the white-haired girl met a guy. Invisibly, an agreement was made between the two. But then the boy suddenly disappeared. After a long time, white-haired girl hears boy news again. Now he has become Mushin's younger brother. Mushin said that he has a plan to get his brother to join. That is to make him and Ellie a couple. Suddenly, a bottle of Coke on the white-haired girl's head. Why is that face? Stay here alone. Is it a discovery of conscience? Regret for escaping team training without permission? The white-haired girl said nonchalantly, I don't like that kind of intensity of training. Ellie slowly approached the white-haired girl. So who was in the World Series last year? Only got a runner-up? I was kicked out again this year as a substitute and hid in the snow. No, this person can't be the person by my side, can he? That's bad enough. But I'm curious. Although you made a mistake last year, but as long as you cooperate with the training, you can still return to the game. But why at this time? Run to a Xiaobai's house as a sparring partner. What do you think? When Ellie's done, the white-haired girl slowly raised her head. His feet touched Ellie lightly. It's not because I'm interested in you. I already knew. Mushin wants the little devil in white, pretending to be your boyfriend. You will definitely go to his house too. So I had to ambush him at his house in advance, then sneak up on you. Ellie was so frightened that she quickly took the white-haired girl's hand away. What are you saying? The speech of the female address book? Could you please be nice? The white-haired girl continued to ask Ellie gently, shouldn't it be touching? Ellie was embarrassed. I'm not interested in that. The white-haired girl pushed Allie away with tears. You don't like me so cute. Do you really like the guy in white? Aren't you a fake couple? Ellie turned back shyly. Who would like that stinky kid without a mole? I have my own business. Seeing Ellie show her feet. The white-haired girl keeps getting closer to Ellie. Really? But I still want to check. Miss Allie's affection for me. No. Ellie was so scared that she stepped back, shouting that what he said was true. Tell the white-haired girl not to come. After confirming that Ellie is not lying, the white-haired girl laughed out loud. Excuse me, were you just kidding? Then I took Ellie's hand. Since everyone's target is white, then we will be enemies from now on? Ari was completely confused. I have no idea what this guy is talking about. Wake up. What is the experience of having a big European beautiful girl next to it? A ray of sunlight shines in outside the window. The boy slowly opened his hazy, sleepy eyes. But the next second, his pupils dilated.